Hello everyone and welcome to the Distinct Mastering YouTube channel. My name is Freddie. Today we're going to be doing something totally different on the channel. I don't typically talk about recording techniques, but we're getting into one today. I had a unique situation and I tried a whole new microphone technique and I thought I'd share it with you. Let's get into the video and talk about the backstory of why I used the mid-side or the MS mic technique, also known as the Blumlein technique. Before we get into the video though, if you like the music that's playing in the background, it's a new one of mine as my alias Freshcobar alongside Lavelle Dupree on NOS Recordings. It's called What I'm Feeling. Links to that are all down below. Don't forget, for 2025, I launched my new membership section. There's a membership on YouTube that gets you behind the scenes videos and bonus content. And then there's an exclusive Patreon creator tier that gets you even more content. So make sure to check those out if you're interested. Now, just before we begin and get into the Pro Tools session, I want to talk about the backstory of how this all came about. So I just started recording some videos and audio for the agency SGM Events, which is a subdivision of Sleeping Giant Music, which is an agency that I'm a part of. And this is our lovely studio here that I get to work out of every single day. I'm super fortunate. And we have a beautiful live room. I don't know if you know, over there. And we do a lot of different things, from the NOS Radio in there. We do the talk show, Let's Talk. And lately we've been recording some of the acoustic artists at the agency. The associates at SGM, including Lauren and Mikey, have been great at setting all of this up. So I get to focus on all of the audio. First session went great. It was a keyboardist with a vocalist. Super simple setup. One keyboard, one mic line. Very easy. The next setup was an artist with a loop pedal, where everything was self-contained in the loop pedal, so I was just given a stereo in. Another simple one. But the next one we had was an artist that has multiple configurations, including a loop pedal setup, as well as an acoustic guitar and vocals. So to capture the essence of everything and not use too many condenser microphones, the ideal scenario, after speaking to a friend of mine, shout out Jeff at 502 Tone Mastering, we had a conversation and he's done a lot of live recording, and he recommended to pick up some omnidirectional microphones to do a stereo pair. Now, I did order some, but they didn't come in time. What I had suggested on the phone before he gave me that suggestion was, has he ever used the MS technique? And hence what this video is all about. The Blumlein technique. This technique is a unique microphone technique where you line up two microphones right on top of each other. One of them is cardioid, and the other is going to be set up in a figure 8 pattern, and it's turned sideways. So basically you have the figure 8 picking up the sides and the cardioid picking up the mono direct signal. What that leaves you with is it leaves you with 3 channels. One of them is going to be in the middle. One of them is going to be on the side, and then you duplicate that and you flip the phase, and then you get a stereo, which is the figure 8. So let's get into the Pro Tools session and talk about how this worked out. So here it is. There were 3 songs done in this session. One of them was with a loop pedal. That one was not done with the mid-side technique, so we're going to ignore that track down here. But what you could see is we had an SM7B on the vocals direct, just to get a good direct vocal. Then behind the video cameras, so they weren't actually in the shot, as you see here, we also had the TLM Neumann 103, and right above it, we had the AKG C414, and then I duplicated that and inverted the phase. And so let's mute the vocal mic. Well, first let's actually play you the vocal mic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play it from here. This is a cover song, so hopefully I don't get a YouTube strike.
Summertime, living's easy. Rodney's on the microphone with Ross and G. People in the dance with the
I'm gonna mute these effects. Remember, this is a live recording, so the goal was to capture the essence of the live performance. Not doing too much in the mixing stage here. Then I took these into a mastering stage, all of the songs.
Summertime.
So that's the vocals. Here's the direct TLM 103, which is gonna act as the mono source, the middle.
Summertime, living's easy. Rodney's on the microphone with...
And then here you have the figure 8 duplicated and phase flipped. So this gives you a lot of width. And you could hear the vocals there in the background. I'm going to go into a little bit more chunkier part of the song. Now let's bring in the middle. So as you can see, if I turn the sides down, I have these grouped. So I'm adjusting both faders at the same time. I can control the width of the signal. Remember, you got to pan these hard left and hard right when you do this. And then adding in this mono vocal mic, just a dynamic mic that's not going to pick up the whole room like the condensers. That was the biggest problem. Now, you might be wondering, well, why didn't I just put the TLM 103 and the AKG C414 near the guitar? My biggest thing was trying to combat phase coherence. And so what the MS technique allows you to do is it's perfectly in phase. If I mono and collapse this signal because everything was done right on top of each other with the mics and then everything was split and phase flipped, it literally collapses to mono perfectly. So it's a beautiful scenario if you need to have multiple mics open. When you have multiple mics open in a room and they're all condensers, you're going to get a lot of room tones and they're going to start picking up sounds at different times, reaching the microphones at different times, bouncing off the walls, and you're going to have some phase issues. So that is why my friend Jeff recommended using omnidirectional mics, because you don't have those phase problems. But in a pinch, I didn't have omnidirectional mics, and I did order them, and they were supposed to come the day before, but they didn't make it. So I reverted back to my original idea, and this was the first time I ever had tried this, and it worked out pretty great. I have another session coming up with 2 performers, where I'll probably do something similar. I'm thinking 2 SM58s on the vocals direct, capture that in the video, and then have the MS technique or maybe the stereo pair of omnis. I think it's worth trying both scenarios and just seeing what works, you know? You might try a combo of all of them as well. But my first time using the MS technique, I was pleased with the results. And I just kind of wanted to share the backstory, share this with you. Perhaps you could use it in some of your recording sessions. I know this was new for the Distinct Mastering YouTube channel. I'm not doing a ton of recording these days, especially now. People just send me stuff. But if you found this content useful and you'd like to see more of it, drop me a comment down below. In the meantime, if you found it helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that like button. The bell notification will keep you up to date, and a comment will help the YouTube algorithm. Please let me know what you'd like to see. I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't forget, I started my membership section for 2025. Make sure to check out the YouTube and or the Patreon membership for more exclusive content. And if you like the music that's playing in the background, remember, it's a new one of mine. Links to that song are all down below. It's out on NOS Recordings. Once again, my name is Freddie from Distinct Mastering, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.